Some of us were talking about living in West Virginia, and I know you talked about this tonight, and people who come out of West Virginia and what kind of soldiers they make and what kind of military people they make.
Well,
What is there about that?
Yeah, but basically, I think there were 18 boys in my senior class that graduated, and we all went in the military in 41, the whole class. And I think about of the 19, about 9 or 10 of them got killed. They were in the Bataan Death March. And they were, I think, as I explained what the Pledge of Allegiance means to you, they are all very loyal and patriotic. And the guys who come out of the States are normally good shots because they're all hunters. And one thing that, like, it would be a surprise that 11% of all the fighter pilots involved in combat in Europe, 11% shot down 90% of all the airplanes destroyed.
Wow.
That's quite a discrepancy. So after the war, the American fighter racers did some research, and they found out that these, without exception, these 11% were all raised as rural kids with a gun in their hand, understood deflection shooting, were aggressive and self-sufficient. And that wouldn't work today because everything is computer enhanced.
A lot of kids are coming out of West Virginia now to go into the military. I mean, that's kind of what you do. That wasn't the reason in 41.
Military's changed. One airplane today will do what it took 10 to do 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Because everything's computer enhanced. You don't do any thinking. It's all done for you.
What'd you think about 1941 when you're? I mean,
Nothing.
I mean, nothing.
No, hey, you know, everybody went in the military because if you think back, America was mobilizing because war was going on in Europe, and Germany had invaded Poland, Belgium, and was beginning to go into Russia, and the United States then got drawn into the war by the Japanese bombing Pearl Harbor.
You went to Europe. Did you go there first, or you became a mechanic in the?
Well, I enlisted in the Air Force. I couldn't be a pilot because to be a cadet, you had to have 2 years of college and be 20. I only was 18 and had a high school diploma. Then they weren't getting enough applicants for pilot training, so they lowered it to 18 and high school graduate. I fit the bill, so I applied and was accepted.
Yeah, but before that, you were doing the mechanic.
I was crew chief on airplanes, and I was trained as a mechanic by my father, and I was very good at it.
So when they were looking for, they were called what? Flying sergeants. That was the program.
That's what the flying sergeant was.
Did you show up in an aptitude test or something, or
No.
or you just saw it on a wall?
Hey, if you're warm, they'd take you. It's about that simple.
Is that right?
Well, they're mobilizing.
Could somebody come out of Lincoln County and Hamlin today with the skills that you came out of? And
That's speculation.
I don't think it wouldn't happen, huh?
No, it's not necessarily. It's just basically you got to be at the right place at the right time.
That's what I'm getting at.
But you have to have the capability of taking advantage of the situation.
Your capabilities were?
I was capable of doing a lot of things because I'd been taught, maintenance by my father, and also I had good hand-eye coordination, and I survived. That's the main thing.
Who was important in your life?
Probably, as a kid, my grandfather. He was very, proficient at everything. He makes shakes for the roof. He built cabin. He hunted and lived off the land, and he preserved it.
Your dad was up.
My hero in aviation would be General Doolittle.
Did you ever meet him?
Yes, sir. I flew with him. He was my boss in 8th Air Force when I was in England fighting the Germans, and then I hunted with him after we retired.
I met Gabby Grabowski a couple of years
Gabby?
ago.
I never thought much of him.
Oh, you didn't? He shot down a lot of airplanes. I met him at the 8th Air Force.
He destroyed a lot of airplanes. Half of them were on the ground.
Oh, I didn't know that part.